Yeah. Oh man.
Welcome back.
Yeah. Episode 7, folks, of the Wrinkled podcast. My name is Morgan. This gentleman to my left or right if you're watching upside down. Oh no, wait. Left is upside down. It's right to me. It is to my right. This gentleman to my right is Hunter, aka Sir Squatch.
Yeah.
Oh man. We got some juicy stuff to talk about. It'll get you picking at the brain.
Yeah, thinking a little bit.
Yeah, stretching them wrinkles, or smoothing them out. We'll see. Uh, so have you seen any of this Congress? Interviewing the TikTok CEO.
I I've only seen I think what people have been posting on TikTok, funnily enough. Um but I've seen kind of I think like the main like talking points and the reactions and the stuff like that. So
Mhm.
it's definitely been interesting, man.
Yeah,
Um
it's
I don't know what the hell we're doing, but
man. It's funny too because the way elected officials work. It's like, oh, we elect you to represent us, right?
mhm.
And then you watch stuff like this, and you're like, wait a minute, this is very far from an accurate representation of the people.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. Those people did elect that person into
Hmm.
power. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like 100%. Um,
Yeah.
the thing that I'm kind of scared. I haven't. To be fair, I haven't read the full notes on the bill. It was the congressman, I believe, the Democrat from Virginia, who submitted this TikTok ban bill. But it also from the kind of quick. I honestly, it maybe was 20 seconds at most of a quick little piece I read on it, but there's a lot more like things in there that potentially could be banned or could be subject to, these type of hearings or these type of,
Hmm.
um, congressional meetings that they're having about these whatever. I saw it included like routers, any access point, whether wireless or local area networks, so like plug it into like an Ethernet. There's a couple other things on there, I believe, as well, something related to cell phones, and I even think VPNs and stuff like that. It kind of is making me question like, what is the motive?
Right.
You know, because we see these bills, and this happens a lot. This happens extremely often, where they'll introduce a bill, it'll have um like this big thing in it or whatever, and then all of a sudden like you see it and it has like all these other smaller things that they try to like hide in it, and you're like, what are you
Yeah.
doing?
These
What are you doing with
bills are
this?
like 800 pages,
Yeah.
but they make sure that there's something big to take all the limelight. Like, oh, the TikTok ban bill. It's like, no, it's
Yeah.
got 80 other things in it that you're
Hmm.
not going to focus on. So if it does pass, then it's going to be like, oh, well, you knew about it in advance, but not really.
Yeah.
Yeah, my, my problem watching all this, it's one, I think the fact that Congress positions are like life positions, I
Hmm.
think that's ridiculous because if you know you've got your position for life, you don't worry as much.
Yeah.
You lose that sense of urgency of I need to remain like good at what I do in my position to keep it.
Hmm.
Also, again, like, oh yeah, a lot of these people were elected, but how many years ago?
Exactly.
Like how by who? Not by anyone recent. So it's painful watching this. Plus, the people who are responsible for making this bill and responsible for whether it passes or not have no idea what's going on. Like watching these people ask questions to the
Dude,
CEO, it's like
it's
you have no clue how this thing works, and yet you're the deciding factor.
yeah.
Oh my god, it's so frustrating. Like this poor guy came prepared. He's respectful. He's trying to answer questions to the best of his ability, and it's like, yeah, just watching him, it's like poor guy because he's so prepared, and the people asking the questions have no clue what's going on.
No, and like I said, it is kind of gross when you think about it, you know. Um, like you're kind of putting your trust in these people to do what's right or whatever, and it just seems to be like there's like something. It's like a scapegoat, or it's something, you know, that doesn't feel right to me about it, you know.
Right.
Like something's amiss, and then you look at like all the crap on this damn bill, and you go, oh, no wonder.
Yeah. Yeah. It's sad, man. Like again, just listening to everything. Like why is it not required for you to go through like continuous training in your position
Hmm.
to stay up to date on the things that you're, like I said, putting into these bills so you actually understand what you're doing in your job and not just like, oh, okay, sign this or whatever. Like,
Listen,
uh,
man, it all goes back to taking bribes and taking bills and
yeah,
whatever.
getting the cut.
Yeah, like I said, there's something in here that like is gonna. I think the big thing is the intent on banning like any item or app or even technology that could be a foreign or national threat or whatever. I saw like Venezuela, Russia, North Korea, things like that. I'm like,
Yeah.
to be fair, how many people have bought North Korean technology? you know, some of the other stuff I can kind of see that, but
It's just, yeah, I, I don't get it, man. It's sad. It's really sad. It's like, really? And then there's the other side of it, which we already mentioned in the last episode. It's like, there are bigger problems in this world. There
mhm.
are bigger things to deal with. But
So,
uh,
school lunches and kids getting shot, whatever. But hey,
yep,
again, what's bad TikTok?
homelessness and
Yeah,
like
you know,
even here, man, like the homelessness in our area, at
it's
least
getting bad.
mine, yeah, it's getting worse. Like I'm
It's getting
actively seeing it getting worse. I'm like,
bad.
man, come on. Like there is stuff out there that really matters
Yeah.
compared to this garbage. You're like, come on.
Hmm.
And it was also bad just watching how unprofessional it was.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
Didn't let him talk. Didn't.
yep. And when he did
y-
speak
y-
and answer it, it's like, oh, well, I find that unlikely. It's like, it doesn't matter what you feel. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
how you feel about his answer. You have no proof. So you have to take this guy at his word until you
Hmm.
have something that says otherwise. It's not rocket science. Doesn't matter how you feel, what your ideals are, what your views are. You have a job and you need to separate how you feel about it when doing that job. Okay, I have no proof saying otherwise, so I'm going to take this
Yeah.
guy at his word.
Okay. So I'm gonna just a quick. I'm gonna read you
The
the bill here.
sponsor
You
for
know,
this video, sponsored
if
by
it's
TikTok.
if it's the Restrict Act, the final text, then sure. So it says here, priority information and communications technology areas. There's some other section in this bill, but this essentially says information and communications technology products or services used by party to a covered transaction in a sector designated as critical infrastructure in Policy Directive 21, established February 12th, 2013, relating to critical infrastructure security and resilience. So it says software, hardware, or any other product or service integral to telecommunications products and services, including wireless local area networks, mobile networks, satellite payloads, satellite operations and control, cable access points, wireless access points, core networking systems, long, short, and backhaul networks, or edge computer platforms. And then it goes on to list a bunch of other stuff about service providers and cloud-based distributing software and all this kind of stuff. But it seems to be that if your uh, system or whatever can back end into like a foreign whatever that we don't have good relations with, it seems to be that you can be under scrupulous terms to potentially have a banned,
Right.
which is I it's understanding, you know, but nobody was, again, this guy even mentioned it, the Facebook data breaches, how many times has your Equifax and all these credit places
Seriously.
leaked your information? You know what I'm saying? They're not doing anything about that,
It's like once a year, there's some big
Yeah,
leak from some company.
absolutely.
And it's like, oh, sorry, change your shit.
Yeah, cell phone carriers, and it's all the time. You
Yeah.
know, like I said, they don't care about that stuff. Why? You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that's the thing is like they're it's just kind of garbage. You know.
Yeah. And uh, I I get being prepped for things to go wrong,
Mm-hmm.
being prepared for things to go wrong. We talked about it. It's what keeps you alive.
Yes.
But again, there is a degree and there is a line. And once you pass that line, it becomes a little like unreasonable, as well
Because
as when you're
now, what is it
representing.
going to be next?
Exactly. Where does it stop? When you've
Yeah.
passed that line, oh, you're not able to access any sort of back end connection with any country that we deem, we have poor relations
Hmm.
with, or so,
Yeah.
it's where does it stop? And I talked about this with Abby. She was watching a podcast about like a trial going on,
Hmm.
and it was involving a crime that involved like freedom of speech.
Hmm.
And the podcaster was like, "Oh, do you think, some speech should be outlawed or banned or whatever?" And I'm like, "No, because of the way that speech works, like freedom of speech, you either have to censor all of it or none of it. There's
Yeah.
no like,
There's no
oh,
middle ground. No.
yeah, these 10 words. Oh, okay, then a year down the line when society's like, "Oh, this is offensive. Okay, here's now another 1,000." Like
Hmm.
there's no stopping. So you either have to be totally, bring out the dictatorship and be like, "All right, you say any of this, you get shot,"
Yeah.
or you allow all of it because it doesn't work. And so that's it kind of got like the same feeling of, when you talk about that, it's like, okay, where does that stop?
Yeah.
Oh, now, you know, if I log onto a website that's like backed by
Or
a
even
political,
hosted. Yeah.
yeah, or let's say you're a registered voter and you're registered to a certain party.
Hmm.
If you log onto a website that's like funded or backed by the opposite party, oh, are you going to
Yeah.
get like flagged? It's like, come on.
No. Like I
Like
said,
this.
it's an absolute like because like I said, if this is what we're okay with allowing, forcing the sale of shares and forcing social media platforms to be, shut down or removed from applications or whatever, why not Facebook? Why not Meta? Why not Twitter? You know what I'm saying? These
Right.
other big whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, is it just because they're American, whatever the case is? I'm like, they have foreign, you know, uh,
Investors and
investors and whatever people excited for their whatever. Like, what's the difference there?
yeah. It's like
I
you
said, is it
have
just,
majority shareholders outside the
yeah,
US. So where's the problem, really?
yeah. Like I said, and it'll never be this way, but if it was construed better potentially, we might have a different conversation to
Yeah.
talk about. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, it has been 100% found that your application has been whatever, instead of it, like you said, being just feelings. Like, I didn't know we were the United States of feelings over here about like, that's not how I feel about it. I'm like, that's again, it doesn't matter what you feel about it, right?
Yeah.
Like I
And
said, if I'm a judge sentencing somebody, I don't go, well, I don't feel good about this. I go, okay, what's the facts?
right.
What can I prove to the T?
And this is, somebody actually commented on the short that we talked about in the court, but just bringing it back to court and anything controlled by humans, anything with a human aspect, it's bound to be flawed.
Yeah.
So, especially in these positions, like these congressman positions and whatnot, you're representing the entirety of this country. You're running the government, or at least
Hmm.
part of it. You have to set your feelings aside
Yeah.
because you are one of 300 ish million, right? That's the population. Yeah,
Yeah.
330 million or something. Like
Yeah.
your individual feelings don't matter at all.
No.
At all. It's like, what's best for the country? Doesn't matter how I feel about it. I can go scream in a pillow about it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. But people aren't able to do that, or they're not willing to because of the benefits that reap if they go elsewhere.
Yeah.
And, grease in their pockets.
I said it's quite the event it's turning into, man.
Yeah.
You know. Like I
And
said, I feel like when these things are televised like that, like I feel like these representatives, they have to. I feel like they like buff it up. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
They kind of go like a little above how they would normally react to something like this, potentially. You know,
I agree. It kind of,
just
yeah, fluff it for the audience. Knowing there's an audience, you tune it up a bit.
yeah, yeah. Like
But
what was? Oh, go ahead.
no, 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 go for it.
I'll say what's the that one guy? He said the guy with the eye patch. It was like, oh, don't just think we're old and out of touch because
Oh,
we're not that. I'm like, dude, you're literally you're giving us the fuel to
yeah.
roast the shit
What
out of you because that's exactly what you are.
one of your guys just asked if it uses Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Like one of your ladies was like, "Why does it need to know where your eyes are for a filter?" It's like, so it can put the filter on your eye. Like,
Yeah.
you say this stuff out loud and you're like, why are you in this position?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you, again, this is where it goes back. Like, you should have mandatory training
Yeah.
because, oh, they're televised and yeah, let's do it so all the American people can see it. It's like, you're making yourself look like jackasses because you're so clueless. And nobody's sitting there like, oh yeah, this is right. They should do it. It's like, no,
Mm-hmm.
nobody can stand this. And now it's like we're the laughing stock.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
like the
Exactly.
US is becoming the Space Force before they announce the Guardian names. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, come on. Nobody's sitting there like, oh yeah, they're doing the right thing. It's like, come on.
Questionable
Come on.
decisions, man.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, I wouldn't have a problem if they could 100% prove this national security threat and foreign
Mm-hmm.
intelligence agencies and whatever. I wouldn't have a problem with it because, of course, American security first.
Right.
We have to protect, secrets and whatever and our people. Like it makes sense.
Yeah.
But like I
And
said, it just seems to be like, again, like kind of what you talked about, like a feelings issue and like whatever. And I'm like, why? You know?
yeah, it's, key word is proof, which again, you watch these guys ask questions and the answers and they're like, well, I find that hard to believe. It's like,
Mm,
no one cares what you find hard to believe.
yeah.
This isn't a matter of belief, it's a matter of fact. And if there's no provable risk, then what are we doing?
It's a bunch of goofballs, man.
Yep. Big
Term
goofing.
limits, age
I was
limits.
about to say yes, age limits.
Yeah.
Age limits and term limits, like aptitude tests, like
No trading you
yeah.
or family members. None of that shit.
Yep. Like there needs to be a whole overhaul. That way this doesn't happen. Like uh but hey, we'll see how it all unfolds.
It's good old US of A, man.
Yeah. Go go America.
Go Red Sox. Oh.
Yeah. Huh?
You
Hey man, I got tacos on my socks right now. Like
got you got Sacos?
I got some,
Come on, that was easy, man.
hey, that was good. Yeah. Yep. Yep. All right. So, in our free time, we've dove into Elden Ring.
Yes.
Great game. Combat is very satisfying.
Super fun.
Oh
Just like
yeah.
all the other Soulsborne games I played.
I
Just
personally
more polished. More polished.
always get destroyed in them.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of the point until you don't.
Right,
You
right,
know.
right. So this one has been a constant like grind for me. Like, oh, go grind the same enemy for half an hour until you level up enough to beat the boss.
Mm-hmm.
When they released Elden Ring, they're like, oh, you can play cooperatively. And, it's a little
Which
bit
just to note, co-op has been available since I believe the first Dark Souls game. I don't know if Demon Souls had it. I do not remember, but for sure Dark Souls. So this has been a constant thing in these games.
right.
But again, what you're gonna say, I know what you're gonna say
Yeah.
is
This is my first wait, was Sekiro made by From Software?
yes.
Okay. So this is my first Souls game besides Sekiro. So I've never, hopped in and done co-op. I'm like, oh, this will be super fun. It's a tough game, but we'll have each other's backs. Like it'll just be more enjoyable in general, like a lot of games are.
Mm-hmm.
This shit took 20 minutes of, oh, let's try this. Oh, let's look this up on Google.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
tried that. Oh, it didn't work. Oh, why not? Oh, let's try this and do that. You do not get to call this co-op.
It
It's
feels more like
it's the
included
LaCroix.
single player.
It's the LaCroix
The
of
LaCroix.
co-op. It's you know how, it says like strawberry flavored, but really it just tastes like somebody said strawberry into the can and then sealed
Yeah.
it. They have co-op written on the game. They're like, yeah, I mean, if you can figure it out, it's co-op. And dude, the thing that put the nail in the coffin for me wasn't even the summoning, the sign, okay, whatever. When we died, it
Yeah.
spits you back into your own game. You then have to do the sign and summon again.
Yeah.
No. Thank God for modders.
Oh, dude, that mod is excellent.
It is
Shout out
beautiful.
to the seamless co-op mod. I don't know who made it. I'm sure,
You are doing God's work.
yeah, that guy is a godsend, man. And
Yep.
that mod, it's super good. It's super dope. It's catered to like people who just want to play together.
I hope. I know From Software sent the guy who beat Melania like 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Whoever made the seamless co-op, From Software needs to send you something and add you
They won't
to
get anything because they're doing something that they should have done.
You know what? You did something for the community that's way better.
Yep.
And yeah, so but it's so much more fun. If we die, we just respawn.
Exactly. Or the best part, honestly, is the spectating.
Oh yeah.
I love watching like either I die or you die, and like we're just sitting there watching, like, oh, can we take this boss down? Do we have enough time or whatever?
Yep.
Like so it's perfect like that.
It's beautiful. It made the game so much more enjoyable
Mm-hmm.
because the longer it took for us to figure out the co-op, the more enjoyment factor was going down. It's like, okay,
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
oh, we finally got it. Oh, we got to summon again after dying. Okay, now this isn't very enjoyable. Like,
Can't find the summon sign. What is this?
oh, you have to be in the exact same spot.
Yeah,
It's like,
I'm just
come
like,
on.
God damn it, man.
do better. And now there is better.
Yeah.
Thank
So we'll
God.
definitely need to play some more of that.
Yeah, man. Well, we can hop into some tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh man. Get a oh that's right, we're on the second boss. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna be
And
awesome.
I believe it just got an update too for like ray tracing, I want to say as well.
Yep.
I'm like, man, that's already like a pretty damn good looking game. They actually do like reflections pretty well, and
Yeah.
like armor tint and tinge of things,
Oh, yeah. For a relatively like dark game, they have done detail and like shadowing on the pieces of armor and like the fields, the tree, like the castles. Or like all the interiors, like seeing the
like I was just gonna
fireplace,
say that,
like light off of all the corners and whatnot.
Mhm.
Beautiful.
Like I said, I mean, Bloodborne, I think, is probably like the pinnacle of that. Just like the world you're in, it's very like gothic, and you get that vibe like as soon as you step in, as soon as you get out of the doors of that medical clinic or whatever, like you see what you're kind of getting into,
Right.
That's another one I wish either would come to PC or get a PS5 update or something, man, because that game is just amazing. It's so good.
I'd be surprised if it didn't at least get a PS5 update.
I mean, it seems like it would be perfect for it, right? But it's just like, it's just been super kind of just, it doesn't exist,
Have
I'm
you
like, that
seen
sucks.
the game? It's slated to come out this year. Lies of P.
Oh yeah, that's like the Pinocchio or whatever. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks interesting. It looks, yeah, it's like Soulsborne, and depending on your game choices, you either become more human or more like wood
Oh.
or mechanical. So like
That's
depending
interesting.
on how you choose to play it, you become more or less alive.
See, I hear that and I think, man, what an interesting mechanic. I wonder how that will affect the speed run.
Yeah.
I'm sure there'll be but I'm thinking like, man, like, is it quicker? Do you get different abilities, like skills and whatever? I'm like, God, that sounds so dope,
Interesting. I didn't even think about that.
Listen, man, that's where my brain goes almost immediately as soon
I need to
as I hear a
watch.
game or
I enjoy speed runs when they're not any percents. When they're
oh,
like
you
not
like
using
full
glitches.
categories.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Listen, one of my favorites, man. Again, from soft game, whatever. Uh, Bloodborne, all bosses. It's a great run. It's usually like an hour 15. I don't know what the record is now, but that's a great run. You go through all the bosses. They get all they have to go out of their way to get like you got to get like the uh, umbilical cords or whatever to fight the wet nurse and yeah, all kind of. It's a great speed run.
You said
So
wet?
yeah, WHET nurse. Hey man, she's covered in. Never mind. Um,
Oh man,
but
yeah, you
yeah.
showed me the Sekiro speedrun where they like
Oh, dude, it's
swim
great.
through the buildings.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
yeah,
Or
and
like,
like I said, oh, God, that run is just insane too, man. Because that game's level of movement is just already absurd, kind of as it is, with
yeah.
like the like semi grappling hook and
Oh yeah, you can move around so quick.
yeah, yeah. But just the fact that these guys found like a jump off spot that helps you get around a wall that has water behind it, and that I'm just like, oh my God, dude, it's
Yeah, that's
ridiculous.
so that's gonna be fun to jump into more Elden Ring. Dude, I've
I'm
really
excited for. Go ahead.
no, go for it.
I'm excited for any the new Resident Evil 4, man. And be
Oh
sure who's coming out of
yeah,
that. Because the OG Resident Evil 4 speedrun it's gotten down, to be pretty consistent, like time wise and whatever. So I'm like, what'll change? I know when they usually do these things, like cutscenes will change and like different like small little hiccups you can do kind of probably either get removed or probably get modified. I'm like, okay, what's gonna change with this kind of thing?
right. I think it's crazy how during these speedruns they'll be like, oh, if you press this and this and this at the first 2 milliseconds of the cutscene, you'll shave
Hmm.
off like
Yep.
2 seconds later. It's like the level of research and testing you got to do just to perform like it's wild.
I mean, yeah, but like to me, it is no different when it's like it's well, I'm gonna get shit for this, but it's like an athlete. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? They do
Oh,
whatever they can to get their performance, to get their like, eating the food and doing the training and sleeping and
like
researching new techniques and whatever.
yeah,
Like I said, the amount of dedication that just gets put into something else is like it's the same thing. It's just
yeah.
a little more technical,
It is like going, for basketball, going and shooting, 1,000 free throws a day,
Yeah.
training that muscle memory, like knowing exactly how hard you have to throw. Yeah, it makes sense. But just, oh man, yeah. See, that to me sounds easier. Like training, like in a sport repeatedly.
Yeah.
I feel I would enjoy that more than trying to like get one of these speed runs down. Like I'd go insane.
Hmm.
Like, man, running through the same thing, a bunch of times and then just to die at the end or something. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
I know it's quite the like when you think about it. And then I think to myself like, man, how many times have I played the same Strike and Destiny or, you know, played the same game? Like how many times have I played Psychonauts at this point? I've
Yeah.
probably played it enough to probably be a proficient speedrunner if I knew the strats,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, dude, Destiny Strikes, clear those.
Oh yeah,
Like some
those
of
are
the OG ones, like, yeah,
the way
super
DPS
simple.
checks are now. Yeah, absolutely. You're flying through that shit.
Yeah. Hey, man, the Diablo beta has been great. That's,
It's yeah, I haven't jumped in the open beta. I
yeah.
like I said I went through last week, leveled up the barbarian, which is probably the incorrect choice, is what I've been understanding now. Um, just because melee barb in general seems to be kind of ass, which is super unfortunate, but is what it is. So I definitely will play hopefully a little bit more tomorrow, and I get the I do want to level up the necromancer. It does look interesting as all hell.
It's awesome.
Pun intended. Because D3 necromancer, D2 necromancer are actually like some of my favorites. So I think uh I think this it'll probably be the top class. I think upon release, it'll probably get toned down just a skosh. Um, I think everything else should be fine for, especially for endgame. I don't know what the endgame is for this besides like dungeons or whatever, but I know in D3, at least Reaper Souls included greater rifts, which is a leveled rift. Um, it was like you had 50 minutes to beat it. You had to kill the boss at the end, and then you get put on a leaderboard for whatever.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Um,
It's crazy. Like this is my first Diablo,
yeah.
apart from like the mobile game, which I'm not gonna count that because it's a mobile game.
Yeah.
But I've never wanted to play one until I watched you like play the early access.
Mm.
And then because like I've always seen the trailers have always been
Oh,
dope.
yeah.
Like
Blizzard's cutscenes are just absurd, man.
I
You
just
know.
saw the Diablo 4 trailer again today, and I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
care
Oh,
if you hate the
yeah.
game. These trailers are god tier. Like,
Yeah. Like I said, they've always been that way, man. Like I said, I don't know if you've ever seen any of the OG like World of Warcraft trailers, but
oh
like
yeah,
yeah, watch the Lich King one, the one for Mists of Pandaria, the one for Deathwing. Like they're all
oh Mists of
super.
Pandaria
Yeah,
was awesome.
yeah, they're all super dope, and even like the Overwatch shorts are just fucking like you just go holy hell. Like
Yeah,
damn, dude, these guys are on it with these cutscenes, man.
yeah,
So
they put a lot of work into it, but man, it is fun. It's really
oh
fun.
yeah, like I said, and like Diablo, I've put in thousands of hours into these games at this point, and like I never get tired of it. I always go back every because I'm kind of out of that phase now, just because Diablo 3 kind of there was no major updates. It was like seasonal stuff, but I'm like I wanted like more content or whatever, which is fine. It's
Right.
kind of how these games are. But dude, I was like all in. I was sold on Diablo 4 pretty much as soon as I saw they were making it. I've been keeping up with like the development blogs and streamers and going over all the stuff that they're including and all this stuff. And I'm like, dude, I can't wait. Was it June 6th? I think it comes up, man. I am in there, man.
It's gonna be fantastic. So I'm not sure why when you're in like a beta queue,
Mm,
does your time to get in differ by region? Because my longest I saw was 30 minutes, and like today I hopped in and I had a 1 minute wait. But I've had
yeah,
people comment and be like, I had 144 minutes. I'm like,
yeah.
what? Why? Like,
It's I don't know. It's probably is based off region because I think we would be considered U.S. West,
mhm.
um, which I think a good chunk of the population like lives over here. So just depending on where you're at, you know, like we live in a pretty good part of California, and I imagine there's a lot of like, um, what am I saying? Like a lot of like data centers and stuff like that. And I'm like, it makes sense, that like you could have like a realistically a lower queue time.
Yeah.
Um,
But I could definitely see how that would dissuade you from playing. I mean,
oh yeah,
yeah, like, oh, I have to wait over 2 hours to hop in to then get
yeah.
possibly booted out after 15 minutes.
Oh
Like,
dude, it was like when I started playing the early access on last Friday morning when it hopped in, I got in, I had maybe like I think it was like a 15-minute queue or 10-minute queue or whatever. I'm like, oh sweet, that's actually not that bad. Like I'm used to them being like 40 minutes sometimes or even longer. I get in, I make my character, I hit level 2, I get to kind of like the one of the first cutscenes in the game, and I get kicked out. The game was like, and I was watching like a streamer, and it was like, oh yeah, they got kicked out too. I'm like, so these servers just shit the bed then,
gotcha.
because I'm thinking like, damn, dude, this sucks because I really wanted to play, but like, I gotta go to bed, I got work and all this and stuff. I'm like, damn it.
Got a
So,
adult.
yeah,
Do
but
they?
hey, listen,
Yeah.
I did finish up. Not power leveling, but going through the first act and doing some of the side missions and messing with the abilities a little bit. So
Yeah.
like
It
that's the whole
was
point of a
enjoyable.
beta. You're testing everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm,
It was a lot of fun. So I'm excited.
I'm
Yeah.
very
It's gonna
very
it,
excited.
these next few months are gonna be great.
Oh yeah.
Dude, the
Just
expansion for Horizon is only $20. The
do we know how
DLC.
big? Do we know how big it is?
I mean,
If it's anything like the last game, it'll probably be a whole nother like
yeah.
region and.
The last or the DLC for what was it, the Frozen Wilds for the first game was
Mhm.
pretty big. So I'm excited. But
Yeah.
hey man, it's time for dinner.
Oh yeah. I got some
Yeah.
I got some miso soup. Got some miso soup out there.
Hey man, I'm about to go make some soup. I was gonna try and find a miso meme or like a pun. Nothing there. Miso about to make some soup or
Oh, wait. Have you cut up on Mandalorian?
on what?
Mandalorian?
Um um
There's like four episodes.
y- uh yes. Yeah.
Okay, tell me. Okay, we'll slap a big before we end this. We'll slap a big spoilers.
Spoilers.
Yeah, yeah, massive, huge spoilers tag here, so nobody fucking complains. And
Spoilers.
um,
Um
so tell me the last thing that you saw, because I just want to make sure, because I don't want to say something and you go, oh wait, I haven't seen that.
Rescue Kid.
Oh, okay, okay, all right. So you saw that rescue uh with the Order 66 was going on and Grogu was
Oh
rescued.
yeah. And they brought back, yep,
They brought back Ahmed Best,
yep,
man.
the
I
Jar
was like,
Jar actor. Yep.
yes. I was like, holy smokes, dude. I was like, that's so awesome, man. I love seeing these like smaller, like you only know this guy from his voice, you know what I'm saying? Unless you're just
Right.
like heavily involved in this guy's career, I guess maybe you would know who he is, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
That
like,
was
this
definitely
is
cool.
that's so dope, man.
Yeah. It was like redemption arc.
Yeah, like that's awesome,
Yeah.
you know. And I know he said on Twitter like after he played Jar Jar, like he was getting a lot of like death threats and he wanted to like, you know,
Yeah.
harm himself. And I'm like, man, fucking who said it? Simon Pegg. I think Simon Pegg said Star Wars has the worst fandom on the entire planet, and I agree with that.
I don't understand how you can go after an actor for a character.
Dude, it like I
Like,
said, people do it for if they could do it for the clothes they wear, you know, there's nothing stopping these
yeah,
assholes, you
it's
know?
really sad. It's like, oh, this character's so dumb. It's like, yeah, okay, that's a writing choice.
Yeah. Don't like the character, then suck it up. You know,
Like, it
you're a
has
fucking
nothing to do
adult,
with the
dude.
actor. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Uh,
I know.
but yeah, that was
It's
really good to see.
yeah, it was awesome, man. I was like, I was juice as hell, man. I was like, oh my God, yes.
Yeah, and he was dual wielding.
Oh yeah, that shit was sick as hell, man.
Hit him with that finesse while pew, pew. Oh man, my headset
Mhm.
just died. But I assume we're hyping this man up. Yeah, rocking
Yeah.
lightsabers. Oh God. Oh,
Or are
oh.
we back?
Well, folks, this is what we call technical difficulties right here.
Yeah. Well, we'll slap up the technical difficulties
Lack
logo
of
too. Don't
preparation.
worry. Hey, listen, it happens, man. I mean, it doesn't happen to me because I'm all wired in.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Back.
I would wire in, but man, this headset is just it's too good.
Is that the SteelSeries one?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that one was nice. The 7H or whatever?
The Pro Arctis Pro wireless,
Yeah, yeah, okay.
where it charges the extra battery in the base. It's like it's
Mhm.
so convenient, man.
Yeah, my setup is it's a dude, like one of these days I need to like I don't know if I'll do a setup video, but maybe I'll do like kind of how everything's connected because it is a nightmare and a half. Um like cable management wise. Like everything works perfectly,
Oh,
you
okay.
know, like I had it years of like understanding how my shit works and whatever, but dude, it is so fucking bad. Like cable management, like just looking at the back of my computer now, I'm just like, oh my God.
No, no.
Wait,
Yeah,
wait, 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 wait. No, no, no.
I love that meme.
Oh, dude, it's so good. Listen, all right, a little peek into the life of Squatch over here, man. I was at work like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and and I went to go use the bathroom. I didn't lock the door, and I got walked in on. And as I was getting walked in on, I was literally going, "Wait, wait, wait! No, no, no!" I pulled it out, man, and I was like, "Oh my God, dude!" I was like, "How embarrassing is that, man?" And normally I'm pretty good at like locking the door and everything, dude, but I was just 1,000 miles away that day, man. I completely forgot about it. Like I heard I heard the door handle like jingle a little bit, jiggle, and I was like, in my mind, like my heart started racing. I was like thinking in my head, like, did I lock the door? And then I heard it like unlatch. I was like, wait, no, no, no. I was literally yelling out in the bathroom stall. And guess what? The dude couldn't hear me because he had headphones in. He had AirPods in. I'm like, oh, like, come on. This is a nightmare,
Oh,
man.
oh God, I'm cramping. Oh.
We'll put my face on that Punisher meme. Wait. No. Wait.
Oh my
It was awful.
God.
And every time I see that dude, I'm reminded of my shame. Ay.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna be thinking about that.
It was
Oh,
quite the embarrassment.
that's fantastic. Yeah, that made my night. That is, well, you heard it here first, folks.
It's better than making your whole week.
That's
Oh man.
holy shit.
The amount of times I'm able to get that off in just normal conversation is amazing.
You say get off.
Or it's like when you it's like the Super Troopers thing is where you try to say meow. How many times can you say meow, you know, when you're talking with somebody? Listen, meow. That's always a fun one to try and throw in, mix up the conversations a little bit.
Hit him with a good bamboozle.
We've been tricked. We've been
Oh
bamboozled.
man.
And
All
we've
right.
quite possibly been betrayed.
Nunny. It's a trap.
That's a trap.
Do
Those damn Mon calamaris.
What's the Admiral Akbar? That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a trap. Do it. Kill him. Kill him now.
Release your anger.
Release your anger. Young Skywalker.
Yeah, I love that scene where like uh you what is it? Or what the fuck am I saying? After like Mace Windu and like Kit Fisto and everybody go to,
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
jump up on
of course.
Palpatine and you know, as we know, obviously, Mace Windu gets pushed out a window, gets killed, you know, Palpatine's all up and Anakin's like, I need to save Padme. And then Padme. And then Palpatine gets the my man's fault. You shall be known as Darth Vader. Like, dude, that shit is so dope. I'm like, yo, that's it.
Oh man, that's fantastic. Yeah,
And then
that voice
Anakin's
effect.
betrayal plays, and I cry every time.
Ooh. Yeah, you want it to go differently every single time.
Dude, we talked about this, but
Yeah.
like, God damn it, man.
It just hits you. It hits you right in the nuggets.
Yeah, and I know, and like, you could just. I'm fine with it, but I'm also not fine with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's oh man. It's like it resolves in the end, but doesn't make it hurt any less.
No, absolutely not.
Oof. Just like Squatch getting walked in on mid deuce.
Yeah. And you know it'll never change, and it hurts every time.
Oh
God.
man.
Oh, this nightmare that was.
I bet. Well, this was great. This was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. What'd you
A
guys
little,
think?
a little shorter.
Yeah.
That's all right.
You know what? We're a little worn out today.
Yeah.
It's been a busy weekend. It's I got the sniffles. Can you?
And my whole week. I mean, my whole week.
What do you guys think about this whole TikTok ban thing. It's yeah, it's quite a fiasco. Definitely entertaining to watch, but also kind of sad. Like,
Yes.
really? How do you feel about Elden Ring's poor excuse for co-op?
Uh-oh.
And if
Listen,
you
that's
agree,
game of the year, Elden Ring, you're talking about there, bud.
that's fine. But it's game of the year asterisk as long as you have the seamless co-op downloaded.
You know what? I stand by that. Until we beat it, then I'll stand by that.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, let us know what you think, folks, and drop some comments, drop some likes. Go give
Yeah.
us some ideas of what to talk about next. I mean, we'll still talk about stuff, but if there's something really burning a hole in your brain, making your brain's whole week, let us know. And we'll see you in episode 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.